Correct spelling for pronumeral, P-R-O numeral. The correct spelling for algebra is al, A-L-G, bra. Correct spelling for multiply. And if you had asked me in the test what that was, I told you that it was multiply. I just wasn't able to spell the word multiply for you. You had to spell it. I could tell you what it was. So we mixed the spelling up and made crazy spelling for that reason. And division, the correct spelling is D-I-V-I-S-O-N. Now, in this one here, you're asked to write an expression in each case. Now that means you are to use the letter N or another symbol for it and write an expression. Now, if the ice creams cost $4 each, now you write an expression for the total cost of the ice creams. Now you don't know how many ice creams, but if they're $4 each, well, it's $4 times the number of ice creams. So there's your expression. Now here again, we've got N representing a number. We're using the symbol N, the letter N. Now, N stands for the number that John's thought of. So N, now write an expression for Sarah's number, which is half of John's number. Halving is dividing by 2. Now, I write an expression, same kind of question. Now you could choose to use N as others did. Some people chose different symbols. If I use N in this case, a number is doubled and then increased by 4. Now, N times 2. Now some people wanted to put brackets around that to indicate it was first, but that's not necessary because according to BIMDAS we do multiplication and division first, and then increased or then add 4, and that's the expression. Okay, number 5. Now a lot of people had a lot of trouble with this, multiplying and dividing pronumerals, because this is where an understanding of pronumerals obviously is really important, and the separation of multiplication and addition as separate and distinct things. Okay, so running through here, we've got D times D times D times D. Now the way to represent that is not 4D as many people wrote, but it's D to the power of 4 because we have 4 factors. We have 4 factors here, 1 factor, 2 factor, 3 factor, 4 factors. We indicate that with the index 4. Again, right, let's go across to 1B. 5A times 2 times A, or we can multiply through the coefficients or the numbers. So 5 times 2 is 10, and then we're left with A times A, which is, again, we're using an index, A squared, A to the power of 2, and we leave out the multiplication signs. 5C, 2, we multiply through the numbers, the coefficients. 2 times 3 is 6, and we've got S times S, which is S, 2 factors, use the index 2. Here, 6 times 3 is 18, times 2 is 36, and we've got D times D times D, 3 factors, we use the index 3. 5E, 12, so 2 times 12 is 24, multiplying through the coefficients, the numbers. Coefficients is the numbers in the terms. We use that fancy word coefficient to stand for the numbers in the terms. And we've got R and P. You could write that as RP, but usually the convention, or the way we do it, is to write them is to put them down on the paper in alphabetical order. 3 times 6 times 2, we multiply through the coefficients, we multiply through the numbers. 3 times 6 is 18. times 2 is 36. Now, A times P times P. Now we have A on its own as a factor, and we have two factors, P. So we can put P as the base and 2 as the index, indicating that it's P times P, two factors of P. Now 2 times 4 times 5 is 40. And now we've got C times A times B times A. Writing it in alphabetical order, we've got two factors of A, one factor of B, and one factor of C. Right, now we have a division, so we divide through the coefficients first. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Now, P divided by P is just 1. So we could write times 1 or just leave it as 8 times 1, which is 8. P divided by P is 1, cancels out. And we're just left with Q, 8Q. Okay, over here, now cancelling through, 14 and 28 can be cancelled by 7, leaving 1 and 2, 1 at the top and 2 at the bottom. The A's cancel, the B's cancel. A divided by A is just 1, it cancels out. B divided by B is 1, it cancels out. The C's cancel. C divided by C is 1, so it cancels out. D divided by D is 1, so it cancels out. So we're left with 1 at the top, we're left with 1, and on the bottom we're left with 2E. Over here, now probably a good idea to do this in 2 steps. So we multiply through the top one first, so we end up with 5 times 2, sorry, that's 10, and we're left with, then it's 10, let's put them in alphabetical order, C times C, there's 2 factors of C, so we use the index 2, and then D, so there's only 1 factor of D, and there's 2 factors of S, we use the index 2, and down the bottom is 6, C, D, S. Now, doing a second step, we can cancel through 10 and 6 by 2, leaving 5 at the top and 3 at the bottom. Now if we cancel, there are 2 factors of C here and 1 factor here, so they cancel through, just leaving one of the factors at the top, just C. The D's cancel out altogether. D divided by D is just 1, cancelling out. Now this is S times S divided by S. So one of the factors cancels out. So writing it over here, just writing it down the bottom here, S times S over divided by S. These S's cancel, leaving 1 S at the top. So that cancels, and there's S at the top. So we've got 5CS at the top and 3 on the bottom. Okay. Again, if we do this in 2 steps, well, if we write this as a fraction, it's easier to cancel. So it's 6ABC divided by 9A. Now 3 will cancel into the 6 and the 9, leaving 2 at the top and 3 at the bottom. The A's, A divided by A is 1, so that cancels. And we're left with, there's no room down here, so I'm going to put an equal sign here, 2BC on the top and 3 on the bottom. Okay, going over to